rivals as well. Over the past 4 years, he has had the greatest improvement in time that I have ever heard of. Since his first 5K race, which he ran in 48 minutes, this incredible athlete has dropped nearly 30 minutes off his time, finishing his high school career with a personal record of 19 minutes, 11 seconds. His outstanding progress was not just a random stroke of luck. It came from an unbelievable level of hard work and dedication that illustrates what our classmate truly is. These qualities that have helped our peer in the running world have also helped him with his many other achievements. He was a member of the county athlete team, won 2 medals at Science Olympiad, and was accepted into a fantastic college. Next year, this future mechanical engineer will be attending RIT, and I have no doubt in my mind he will be extremely successful. Now, without further ado, it is my honor to introduce to you your salutatorian, Brandon Lee Chrysler.
Thank you, Caroline. I'm glad that we've become friends over the past year. Fellow classmates, I'm honored to be the Fabius-Pompey Class of 2012 salutatorian. However, just for the record, I would like to reference the childhood saying that first is the worst, second is the best. I've known most of you since day one, way back in kindergarten. When we first set foot in these Fabius halls, we didn't know each other's names even. However, over the past 13 years, we've learned much more about each other than simply names. We got to know one another and even formed our own little groups. The jocks, the hicks, the loud, obnoxious kids that seem to annoy just about everybody, quote-unquote cool kids, or the nerds, aka real cool kids. Recently, though, I've seen these groups fade away as we've become more and more of a family. Fabius is a small school, but I feel that we make the biggest memories here. I know I've had my share of laughs, whether it's from something enjoyable or embarrassing. These memories seem to stick out when we think back on our days here at Fabius. And I'd like to share just a few of the memories that I've made within the last couple of years. I guess I'd have to start by saying that the school's breakfast is pretty awesome. A bagel with chocolate milk every morning. Isn't that right, Tyler, Amanda, just about everybody else up there? A bagel with milk, not bagel with milk, as you guys and this Merriam-Webster guy seem to think it's pronounced. I mean, come on, the dictionary is like 2,000 pages long. Don't you think that there could be at least a few pronunciation mistakes in it? Oh, and who could forget cleaning up leaves at our sophomore fall cleanup at Highland Forest? Those of us who went to Highland Forest probably still remember raking up all those leaves in the big piles. I even remember that it was class color day during Spirit Week because I was wearing a purple bandana, and Tyler kept trying to rip it off my head without success. Right after taking a picture, he managed to steal my bandana and started to run. I think I was still a little bit chubby back then, so I probably didn't feel like chasing after him. Instead, I decided my best move was to pick up the nearest rake and hurl it at him like a javelin. I'm thinking that we could get the rake toss approved as a new field event in track to replace javelin because apparently throwing a long pointy metal spear through the air was too dangerous and they got rid of javelin. However, Tyler and I know that doing the same with the rake isn't all that dangerous, and the worst that it'll do is leave a red mark the size of a quarter for a couple days. This one's more for the calculus class, but who remembers when I got kicked out of calc class for laughing so much? It was about the dumbest thing, too, but I just couldn't stop laughing, so Mr. Sharp had to tell me to get a drink of water from the drinking fountain. Apparently, stepbrothers and Nature Valley bars are the ingredients to laughing gas. Don't ask me, I don't know why, but it was pretty bad. I think I was somehow laughing harder than Bella does when she gets going. Okay, so as you can tell, we've had some pretty good times over the years, which have given me some of the greatest memories I'll ever have. But a lot of you are probably wondering, where do we go from here? Well, I'll tell you. Simply, laconically, though it's a little bit of a cliche. Follow your heart and do what makes you happy. Just enjoy life. To illustrate, who will ever forget our one senior privilege? getting to eat lunch outside. And because it was our only senior privilege, Tyler, Ben, Amanda, and I just had to go outside for lunch every single day, even all throughout winter. And to Nate, Keith, and Josh, being in your car while it's snowing and blowing around is not the same as sitting on a snow-covered bench trying to grip a spoon to eat frozen mashed potatoes with fingers that hardly work. Sometimes we even had to bundle up in a couple of coats, inch our way into a pair of big winter gloves, which just made it even harder to eat, put on a knit hat, and cover our heads again with the hoods of our jackets. By now, you're probably wondering, why would anybody want to go through all that trouble of eating lunch outside when he or she could just eat inside where it's warm? Because we could. It wasn't always that bad, though. Like during that heat wave way back in February, one day I think it actually got to be about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And when the weather warmed up and actually stayed warm, almost all the seniors came outside for lunch. After eating, we would play frisbee or toss a football around or whatever. One day, somebody tried throwing me a frisbee. I think it might have been Bella, but I'm not sure. And it went way over my head. Then I did what anybody else would do and chased after it, all the while looking straight up in the air and following the frisbee. I paid no attention to the septic vent pipe sticking 4 inches out of the ground. I ended up kicking it, almost breaking my toe, tripping, falling, and face-planting on the ground, getting grass stains all over my brand new jeans. Even though my foot was killing me, I was laughing just because of how stupid I felt falling on my face in front of everyone. But it's okay. It's just another story to prove that I can enjoy life with whatever twists, turns, or concealed vent pipes it throws at me. I think learning to enjoy our lives more is one of the most important aspects of life we can learn as we grow into young adults. And no matter what happens, you can't let the tough times in life get you down. In Mrs. Maxine's 10th grade English honors class, we had a book report due every 5 weeks. I always seemed to be so busy that year that I often had to do them last minute. I remember staying up until 6:30 in the morning, reading and doing the assignment for the Pigman. When I went to bed, I didn't feel tired at all. But when my alarm clock went off just 15 minutes later, I felt like I was going to die. I don't think I've ever been so tired in my whole life. But despite wanting to just raise the white flag and stay home and sleep, I didn't. Even though I felt awful, I figured, what's another 6 hours without sleep? So I went through the day like any other. This obviously isn't a worst case scenario or a tough time in life, but it makes the point. Keep your head up high, even in the worst of situations. Most of us have already faced some tough times in our young lives, but as we get older, we will encounter more. It's best if we learn to eventually move on without getting overwhelmed by these hard times, so that we can make the best of our lives. And I hope each and every one of us has a successful life. This doesn't mean that we all have to be millionaires or TV stars or even own a fancy car. Having a successful life doesn't necessarily mean coming in first every time. I'm sure all of us here have failed our fair share of tests along the path to tonight. I sure know I have. But when it comes down to the big picture, even with an occasional failure here and there, we've all been successful and are about to graduate. Even Olympic athletes, the best of the best in the world, must go through failures because they can't all win the gold. Yet, they are obviously still very successful. In our future, there will be things that we excel at. But on the other hand, there will also be things that will be very challenging to us. However, as long as we try to do our best at the things we excel at, we will all have successful lives. And I think I can speak on everyone's behalf when I say that it's pretty hard on us to know that it's possible we might not ever see each other again after tonight. However, I hope that's not the case. Hopefully Dylan will organize some awesome, swag-tastic class reunions. And each and every one of you had better be there when he does. I don't care if you hardly even know me. I hope everyone will come. Until then, I hope you all live full lives of joy and excitement. And remember, the second place can be pretty sweet too. Thank you, and congratulations, Fabius-Pompey.
feeling? You haven't fun yet? All right. At this time, I'd like to ask the senior band players to join the band in order to play one final song entitled Loch Now from Samson and Delilah.